feel like I get dumber every day, and this article is about how we might have reached peak smartness as a species, all human beings on the planet, and there's some compelling evidence here. So
I believe it.
I'll just quote the overall takeaway is, the average person's ability to reason and solve problems appears to have peaked in the early 2010s and has been declining ever since. The evidence. There's this big test of workers across a bunch of countries in the West, and it's been finding declines in numeracy and literacy to the point where a fifth of adults do no better in math and reading than expected from a primary school child. But speaking of children, they're not doing well either. Since the 1980s, there's been a test of concentration and the ability to learn new things. Survey results from that say 18-year-olds are at an all-time high in saying they struggle to concentrate and they struggle to read and take in new information. And then on top of all that, 4th and 8th graders in the U.S.
Tell them, Tony.
Just earlier this year, lowest all-time reading comprehension scores ever in this country. We're all taking dumb pills.
Our smartphones are doing everything for us. I can't do mental math anymore. When we have to calculate something, my husband's like, "You can do it," and I was like, "Ugh," because you're used to your calculator.
So the idea is we might be becoming a post-literate society.
Yeah, that's scary.
Well, think about autocorrect. We don't
Autocorrect.
We don't even try anymore.
Exactly.
Autocorrect is like, come on, give me something, fam. I don't know what you're trying to spell right now.
I don't even spell anything. I just talk into it, and then I let the computer spell it as whatever.
Man.
You know?
David, when certain words are said, I can see you emoting and reacting. It was the post. Was it post-illiterate? However he phrased that.
I'm thinking as they're talking, I'm thinking, okay, what goes without saying is what they're doing to kids. In other words, teaching them what to think, and they're indoctrinating the kids instead of teaching critical thinking, where you really have to, read or pay attention, or they don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting. It says here there's been a study that talked about what they thought was a transition away from text and towards visual media. Now, I'm not against visual media in totality,
right?
But the iPhone, or whatever you want to call it, right? I've seen it being in education. It was such a profound distraction. It was this quick, stimuli that was happening for these young people. They weren't engaging with each other. Yeah. And as Dr. Duke will tell you, being an educator of literature, it's getting worse and worse and worse. So by the time they're freshmen in college, they can't read properly. They don't even want to read Shakespeare or Dostoevsky or C.S. Lewis because all they want to do is be titillated by their iPhone.